Welcome to another Flash Hour Live as we get ready for V2. I know most of you want to go hands-on with it. So a lot of V2 talk today, some accelerator talk, as well as the future of Flash Trade, where we're headed. Some big things coming in that direction. I'd love to see it. Excited to dive into this one. If you've never been a part of a Flash Hour before, it goes pretty simple. We start with just state of the trenches so that you can funnel in. We allow people to funnel in so they're starting to see the live is active on YouTube and X. And then, maybe they grab their coffee, get settled. Then we move into Flash Overview, where we highlight something that's important to us and we think the community should know about. So that's just the highlight section. Then we move into what we got done this week, keep us accountable to our protocol users. And then, of course, we want to update you on the future of Flash. So what is coming is the last section that we delve into. So to keep you up to date with the latest and greatest, I would ask, if you're just tuning in right now, if you could share this out on X. If you're on YouTube, it'd be great if you can hit that share button. If not, hit the like, drop a comment. Really appreciate any support across the socials as usual. And everybody seems to be here. So we'll pull in Zahib. Good morning, sir. Real-time engineer.
GM, Max, how's it going?
Going good. Not bad. I know Anas is also out traveling today, doing the mindful for Flash Trade as usual.
GM, everyone. I hope I'm audible.
Let's
get started then.
Sounds good. All right. State of the trenches. Actually, there's a lot. It's just tried to kind of frame this one. Western Union launched its USDP stablecoin on Solana via Anchorage. Anchorage seems to be making a lot of inroads and investments into the Solana space for global payment network. Western Union is quite aware that their arbitrage is going out the window, so they would definitely want to get involved in the stablecoin space.
Yeah, the rails are getting replaced as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they're obviously that was why they're making such a extremely hard pivot. Solana Foundation introduces Pay SH Sure. Into a collaboration with Google Cloud, delivering a machine-native commerce marketplace for AI agents. This is in conjunction with the X402 standard. It's so that, I guess, basically your AI agent can pay for API access to different things. So that kind of ecosystem, the AI world, is still in full-fledged. I mean, this is not, I don't think this has anything to do with X402. It's just, this is another kind of like X402 standard, like a way for AI agents to pay across to each other across API endpoints. And then MoonPay acquires DFlow. That was an interesting one. I wasn't expecting that, actually, to bring unified on-chain consumer experience. DFlow also is basically, I think as of now, maybe. I mean, I know they made some sort of announcement, like they had like the most flow of any.
They basically aggregate the codes across different quoters and offer through a single API.
Yeah.
And they are integrated into both Jupyter and Titan. So they have some links with the market makers, and they do offer codes by themselves, and their system is basically used to get the best prices on chain for swaps.
And then who are DFlow's, I guess, competitors or alternatives?
Everyone, like all the prop AMs, all the AMMs, anyone who quotes on the aggregator is DFlow's competitor, and like they all are trying to offer the best quote, and whoever gets the best price gets the swap and some fees over it depending on the market conditions. So that is what DFlow is all about.
Yeah, and they were boasting they were getting a ton of volume. Because I mean, if I don't know if you I literally participated in the DFlow original where they were like, "Hey, supply us with Soul." This is like back when they first launched. So and honestly, I was like, I'll throw one Soul in there. I didn't think they'd actually take off like they did, and obviously now they're kind of a market leader. Go ahead. Sorry, Zahid.
Yeah, I mean the first on-chain routing system, which kind of DFlow worked on earlier in the year, January I think they were live. Also helped them kind of get this sophistication in terms of routing on chain. Right now, Titan and Jupiter also kind of do this real-time on-chain routing where your route is not predefined. You send in like a bunch of possible routes, and then all of them are executed real time. So your trades get split according to the best venue available at the time of execution. So you're not kind of susceptible to MEV attacks and getting sandwiched by like having the venue disclosed earlier. So it's real-time routing, which DFlow pioneered, yeah, that's a big marker behind like the recent push in terms of usage.
Yeah, and obviously why MoonPay acquired them. It was a big acquisition, I'm sure. Join Republic open to trading for tokenized Animoca brand. I don't know if you remember, Animoca brand was like all the rage last cycle when. Yeah, you remember that? I don't know where that went. Yeah, and GameFi, you're right. And now it's like, man, there's like I actually, yeah, I kind of put this in here as like a joke because, and you know, if you love Animoca brands, I promise I'm not against you. I just found it funny that there's like an announcement about Animoca brands because I'm like, what the heck happened to that? It was like DeFi gaming, you know, NFTs, and then now it's like nothing. But it looks like they're trying to make a little comeback here. Anchorage and JP Morgan Asset Management revealed a solution designed to power cashless stablecoin reserves on Solana. So anytime I see JP Morgan, I pretty much just think axis of evil, but sure. JP Morgan getting into the game is all, you know, institutions are here. Hello. Huge, massive, again, Anchorage kind of like being hyper involved in the Solana ecosystem. So good to see, I suppose. You know, there's no way we're going to keep them out. So obviously they're here and they're here to stay, and they're going to be deeply embedded into the foundation. So Jump Fire Dancer initiated the rollout of the Fire Dancer 1.0 validator client. Anything on that, Zahib? Any more insight? Yeah. They didn't really have much on
it. Yeah, not much. I think it's been we've been waiting for Fire Dancer to also kind of come on par with Agave, and I think they're finally getting there. But what's more interesting is this week we saw great activation around Alpenglow community testnet cluster, which is quite fascinating. There's a lot of good stuff coming out of it. We are looking at like sub 100-second finality, which is 100x improvement. Like you're waiting for 15 seconds or around that time right now for finality, and now bringing that down to sub 100 millisecond is like crazy stuff. But then again, it's a test cluster. We just saw the whole consensus mechanism kind of change in flight. We moved from Tower BFT to the Alpenglow voter and rotor system mid-flight, and everything worked. The network didn't go down, and then like finality is just shooting down the chart. So if you look at those, if you look at the metrics, there's some good dashboard shared out from Anza, and it's quite fascinating to see where we are headed. And yeah, finality might not change much for existing dApps in terms of how we handle gRPCs and how we kind of show the UX on our fronts, but external integrations, like let's say you're depositing funds into centralized exchanges or doing anything with X402 payments or bridges, it's going to be a lot more faster. And then eventually, I think that will carry forward to how we see transaction inclusion being finalized. So that's that's a great step ahead in terms of how ANS has been shipping, and yeah, it's a sight to behold. Yeah,
So
ag.validblocks.com. So if you go there as
yeah, I was
well, like
about to
you
say,
see it in action.
here's a screenshot. Absolutely insane. So this is what you're talking about. This is the drop,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
absolute insane drop. Wow, that is whew, okay. Wow, that is
That's
something to behold.
absolutely.
That is crazy. Somebody definitely read their distributed systems book pamphlet. Let's see. And sorry, I had to get this back up. Solana set a new all-time high for RWAs. We talk about this every single week. I think a huge credit actually should be pushed towards Anas. I kind of believed it, but you know how things go with like people saying things. But Anas called this out so early. It was like barely any adoption at all. And he said that RWAs are going to explode. This was like, I don't even know, six months ago, maybe even. You were saying how they're basically going to be the core driver. And man, has that not come true. Adoption with 200K plus on-chain holders. And this is just, I think last time we talked about it, there's like 100 and something thousand. So this is just exploding. And as far as the RWA volume on chain, that is also exploding. And I expect this to just absolutely keep increasing. We were just talking about JP Morgan, Axis of Evil, coming on chain and really embedding itself. And obviously their core is going to be stocks, equities,
And
RWAs.
one more interesting thing to add is like anything RWA tech, if you were invested like 6 months ago, you would be
Oh my
by
gosh.
by minimum by 40 to 50%. So crypto is still lagging.
Yeah, that's a good call out for sure. So listen to Anas. He is a soothsayer. He knows the future.
I absolutely have no idea, but things are been pumping very fast on the tech side of the world. So yeah.
Another interesting one, this was just kind of like a novelty item that I added at the end, is Jurassic 5 secured 5 million plus in
Did you get a chance to
commitments.
check what they do actually? Are they bringing back
They literally buy
dinosaurs
dinosaur
or
bones.
what is it about actually?
They buy dinosaur fossils and then tokenize
No.
them.
No.
And then yeah.
No.
And then
I
put
don't
them
believe
and then put
No.
them in museums so that they essentially, can stay there or whatever. And it was all through for Futardio, sorry. Raising mechanism. So yeah, but it was like a interesting use case. I know totally called it out. It was actually really funny because they actually had it at Accelerate as well. And that was another thing that we we're going to get into. I did come back from Accelerate in Miami. It was a lot of fun. Met a lot of teams that were there, had a lot of great discussions, got some good contacts. We were real focused on market makers, and we will talk about as why here in just a moment. But what we'd like to get into is the volumes on V2. By the way, V2 is gated. So it's just people that we're adding. And the volumes, obviously, after someone experiences V1 and then they move to V2, there's such a massive jump in user experience. They just don't go back. Yeah. So, and then V2 also has more offerings just because of the way the architectural way it works. We can offer more there. So that's another reason is that the actual offerings are more. So
V2 is infectious.
It really is. I mean, no transaction costs, no pop-up. It's so annoying. I hate to bash on V1, but the pop-up is actually the single most annoying thing ever. Yeah. It's just one of those like horrible UX experiences that drives me insane. V2 is just like, the chef's kiss.
All right, moving ahead. The most important
what did we get done this week?
Yeah, the most important part we want to highlight is about the listings on V2 are happening literally every day. And I think we have some of the most exotic assets there. live.
100%.
I don't think we added all things here in the tab because I'm sure
I'll
we
pull it
might
up.
be missing. Zoeb might highlight those. Zoeb, what did you add today? Zoeb was adding every day something, It's like
Yeah, today we had some quite exotic stuff where we had like go all in on the semiconductor side, and we've got Micron
You
live.
added Micron. Let's go. And
Yeah, and
SanDisk.
one of the things that held us up was the 24 by 5 feeds. So we got Pit to work on some,
Mhm.
but then again, like we're waiting for markets open, and now we have Micron, we have SanDisk, we have Qualcomm added onto the list that we already supported for equities. So
Let's
yeah, you can't find those anywhere else. And for the evergreen AI meta in crypto, we also have Venice
Venice.
AI and
Yeah.
and Chip
It's
USD
the
AI.
like, yeah. Venice AI is the hottest token in crypto. I think it's up like 20x in the last 3 months or so. But yeah,
Yep. Holy cow. Wow, we added a lot. Okay. I mean, I myself need to keep up every day. We have so many new metals: gold, platinum, silver, palladium, copper.
yes,
Forex is still Forex. Equities, yeah, Micron, Qualcomm. Oh man, I'm so excited to see SanDisk and Micron on there. Qualcomm too, but the semiconductor space or storage space is exploding. I mean, they created I think it was called DRAM, like some sort of what do you
it
call
was
that?
always there, Max. The need for the DRAM expanded more with the
Ah, is that
AI.
why it got a lot of attention? Because I was like,
Yeah.
man, I wish I was in that basket
DRAM is like
before it took
I
off.
think it's easily like 5 years old tech. We used to use DRAM. There was versions of DRAM where there was a DRAM 1 and then these is DRAM 5. So yep,
Oh no, I was
just
talking about it's a what do you call that? It's a fun. No, I'm kind of retarded. I'm the
find out what
janitor,
you
so
about
help
it.
me out. The DRAM is like a basket of goods. It's got Micron. It's got
Oh, you're talking
SanDisk.
about okay.
Yeah, what is that
Like
called? I forgot.
basically they are the manufacturers of DRAM is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's about a basket of 5 different storage companies.
Mhm.
And it absolutely exploded. Basically, if you would have invested like $10,000 into this thing, like
Become a million.
a year ago, you would have. I think they said that you had been like a 1.2 million or something. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my. Anyways, so yeah, we have those now on V2, which is pretty awesome. Migration plan in works. So that's a big one. That's a big statement because that's a lot goes in there, which is obviously why we've gated V2 so far. Is that we want to stress test the system before complete mainnet rollout. Well, I mean it's on mainnet, but like complete public rollout.
Yeah, one of the most important aspects has been security for us, where we've had reviews all along. And one of the biggest things here is not just about whether the code works or not. There's like so many moving parts right now, and like there's this like seamless UX. You're not paying transaction fees. You're not paying any gas fee whatsoever. So you're literally you have just a single endpoint to hit, and you're done. So that kind of trading experience, like we've been working hard to make sure we have no loose ends, and the migration is just like shifting up the current markets that we have on prod and move to the ER without the end user noticing. So you would just find your positions, carry it forward. You would come here, and then you'll have everything moved over to the whole redo stack. And for you, it's just like a no-brainer. As a trader, you come here and you kind of see all of the fees go away. We've had a lot of people having trouble with paying Sol. Usually, people don't prefer to have like enough Sol, and we need Sol for everything. You need Sol for token accounts. You
Sure.
need Sol for positions and orders and all of that stuff. So it's a lot easier now.
Yeah, it's super easy actually. I was just going to get out of here. All right, there we go. See one confirmation now. You can hear it too. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear the little ding? And then the best part about this is that you can do. Oh, that was take profit down. Oops. It's literally just clicking. Oh, look. all I did was move the chart. That's got to be one of my single favorite features, is I can literally set the take profit wherever I want in just one little move. My stop loss to be there. Look at that. Shoo! Get rid of them super fast. Oh, super nice. Anyway, moving back to, let's see. And my screen keeps getting messed up. There we go. All transactions are sponsored for users. That was what Zaheb basically just alluded to, is that there's no transaction cost to the end user. So there's no friction there where it says, the little banner or whatnot would pop up and it would say, soul balance is low, transaction may not go through. That is no longer an issue.
Yeah, I want to highlight this point where, even when people used to deposit and then they have to, activate their accounts. So for the account activation, there used to be a mainnet transaction, which we are sponsoring right now. So it's just, you have to pay something just to deposit, which gets getting started on flash trade. And after that, there is literally no money, no soul that you have to interact with flash trade. And I think that is where we are trying to focus more. And as we expand our offering, I think this will make more sense for a lot of people who, are stuck with paying all the gas costs per account costs. And as assets expand, it becomes a burden on user as well. And on V1, for every take profit, for every stop loss, there used to be an account for every asset, and that used to cost about 0.02 sol, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, that was actually a burden for everyone, and that's the cost of verification on mainnet, I guess. So now on V2, there is literally no cost moving forward, and
Yeah, the other, we used to use like Astrolane, and we used to do like a lot of tricks to try to land transaction faster. And with V2, it's like none of that mumbo jumbo needs to even be there, which is just like, it's amazing. It's amazing from our side too, because then it keeps the tech burden pretty low. Steps to secure the network. Zaheb?
Yeah, that's been the crux of the effort through the last week and this week as well, where we work out a strategy with Magic Blocks on making sure that commits, delegations, and non-delegations, which is moving state between what we have on base chain and the ephemeral rollup, is secure. And then we have a final exit hatch strategy. Let's say even if the systems fail on our end or Magic Blocks end, then people need to have a clear way out to get their capital out, to get their liquidity out. That's been the core focus for us, where we like everything comes at a cost, and we don't want to have the UX kind of redefined, but leave the gate open for anything to go bad if the system stop working as intended. And that's where the bulk of our efforts have been, to make sure that the custody is always on base chain. So that's the good part, where you can track everything down, but then again, like having an exit hatch where transactions are not processed on the ER, that's the thing we want to focus on. So you commit and kind of get the state back on base chain, and then you're able to process your withdrawals. Trading, obviously, it's just a matter of cost, whether all of the oracles could be updated by paying the subscribe cost on mainnet, or let's say we kind of have the transaction size limits kind of blocking any sort of finality from happening on mainnet, because ER has literally got no limits. We've got around 100 markets and 100 plus markets listed on V2 right now, and all of that is processed atomically and instantly on the ER. So doing that on base chain right now requires quite some workarounds, because we have SIMD 296 still in the pipeline, hopefully with 4.1 in June or so. So we can't really wait for those things. So we are working our way around those, making sure we have everything in place to make sure ER limits are also kind of reproducible and executable on base chain by having like all of the various workarounds that we have. So that's the crux of what we are working on right now, to secure the network and not just depend on good state commits coming from the ephemeral rollup validator.
Awesome. And then as far as new assets listed, we covered a ton of those. Is XPT is on there right now?
Yes, Palladium and
Platinum.
Oh, okay. That's what that was. And then Bit tensor. Oh, sorry. I'm unfamiliar. I've heard it. I've heard it a few times. I don't, I've never actually gone after it. I have heard of Venice AI though. But yeah, there's a lot of assets on here that are real. I don't know if I've seen anywhere. Obviously seen Chip, USD AI.
That's what I'm saying. Every day there is a new listing on V2, and that's how we'll move forward. And I hope,
Yeah.
anyone who's watching, if they want an access, please DM us, please reach us out on Discord. We'll get you on V2 as soon as possible.
Yeah, anybody watching Flash Hour, obviously we definitely think that you're like a power user, you know what I mean, of Flash Trade. Obviously you're showing up for us. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on V2 and give you access to that. So reach out to the janitor or reach out to our main account or get into Discord. That'd be awesome. Get into our Discord and reach out to us on there, and we'd be more than happy to grant access. It is a gated thing at the moment, though, so you do have to reach out. All right. What is coming? My favorite section. Migration of Mainnet. Is that migration of Mainnet? Oh, that's the just basically getting V2 to be the primary.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And moving liquidity as well. Like all of the current underlying liquidity is also being migrated. And then there's no change to the pool structure or what markets are supported. For the traders, it would just be tapping into this existing liquidity pool and trading on the ER while like avoiding all of the fees. So yeah, the idea is to move the bulk of liquidity that we have on prod right now and power it and power the trades on the ephemeral rollup using that.
Nice. Yeah, because right now, what the vaults and everything, that's like not actually migrated over. No, right now we just bootstrapped it. So
yeah,
gotcha. Funding mechanism. We kind of go over this every single week. I feel bad for saying.
Yeah, we have.
You always have to come up with something to say. It's still in the same spot.
Yeah, and then the trouble has been like working on the migration and then kind of working out on reducing the fees that we have right now. Margin fee has been a bit of a concern. So what we're doing this week is rolling out a progressive change. We're cutting down the fees by a whole lot in preparation for the migration, plus the funding mechanism that is to come. And right now, the fees could go high on non-pool one assets. So let's say Job and Jito and all of these markets that you trade, long tail crypto assets, as we refer to them. That's been a trouble. Like we've got limited liquidity, and then we've got a lot of volatility in those tokens. So if someone squats, or let's say just opens up 1x or 2x, a conservative long or short position, and then sits on the pool, it's just locked up liquidity. So the addressable open interest goes down, and then we've got some people kind of just blocking up the liquidity. So that's one of the reasons we've had the higher fees. So now the act of balance between having a proper funding mechanism which can incentivize balanced OIs, plus like the pool not being susceptible to just people squatting on the existing liquidity has been like one of our biggest concerns. So it's a progressive thing that we've got to at this stage where we want to lower the current margin fee and then kind of blend it with the funding mechanism that is to come. So yeah, I mean, it just feels odd. Like we can just turn it off and kind of have a quick switch, but then it's going to be just a bad move and kind of make the pool susceptible to a lot of the like dead usage. So we just don't want to be in that situation and kind of have the pool a bit more active to serve active volumes. And that's been one of the things that's held us back.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, makes total sense if somebody does like I mean, I don't know if you call it an economic attack, but it definitely could be, open up a 1.5x long and then just sit on all the vault's capital. I mean, that's, not great. So funding mechanism and then full-fledged order books. What's that mean? That's a big, mouthy statement.
Yes, that is something that we are currently planning to get started on as soon as the full migration is done. And one thing that I really want to clear this part is like the reason why we never worked on order books is because the technology didn't exist. There was this huge gap with the latency issues on mainnet, and we didn't feel comfortable to ship order books on mainnet because, to be honest, it's like begging to market makers or pouring in millions of dollars to maintain these order books, because when the prices move fast and you can't update your quotes fast enough, market makers lose money, and that is why they need to be incentivized, and that's
Yeah.
how a lot of order books try to work around, and they try to move things off chain or do different things. But
Tokenomics.
not to, not economics, but yeah, there was like a lot of money poured into it, but they didn't get solved, and that is the reason why we don't see order books, full-fledged order books that are live on mainnet or doing huge volumes, because of the issues around getting your transactions in and out and paying the fees, and then expecting the leader to drop your
Latency.
transaction. So there
Hmm.
are too many unknowns, and those unknowns lead to a very bad experience. And that is the reason why working in that direction didn't make any sense to us. Because when you want to ship something, you have to ship it in its full form. So finally, with the V2 update using the Magic Blocks ephemeral rollup, we are really confident of shipping a very, very lenient order book system, which can support perpetuals, can support spot, can support cross margining, can support higher leverage, and then also allow people to cancel their orders without any transaction cost or any ordering issues.
Hmm.
So that is the mighty what's coming thing.
Mighty. Oh, nice. All right. And then one thing too is that the order books, like I know Drift ran into this a lot.
Yes.
Actually, is that it was not only bad for the user, but it was my dogs, of course. It was not only bad for the user, but it was bad for the market maker. So it was like bad. It wasn't
Yeah.
like good for the user, bad for the market maker. It was like bad across the board, which is I think why they came out with their Swift system in the first place, right? Was to attempt to address that. But yeah, so I mean that I didn't even know about this. I think Anas had told me offline a while back, and I had no idea that basically market makers were eating some pretty serious losses during like high volatility or during
They
some
just stop
unfortunate
quoting.
events.
What they do is, like, even now, although a lot of people push you get the best quotes on Jupiter or Titan, if Solana goes something around 5% up or down, if you go and try to swap, you'd get the worst fell. But if you do
Mm,
that same thing on order book exchanges, which have lowest possible latencies and have very good links with the market makers, the books will be tight on that places.
yeah.
So that is the problem with slow networks. Although these are fast, if we compare with whatever we have on Ethereum or the layer twos, but still they are not enough for what we want in the financial markets. And that is why, once we have the full understanding of the V2 upgrade, the next important thing for us to run fast to ship this important upgrade on Flash.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think right now it makes a lot more sense given JTX was announced as well.
Oh
Jito
yeah.
trying to reinvent order books back and have the spot market share kind of back on Solana against Prop-M. So it's going to be interesting to see how that scales. We also got Phoenix trying
Phoenix. Yep.
out to kind of run order book based perpetuals right on mainnet. And I think it's still gonna be closed beta, and the reason there's a lot of restrictions around it, and it's kind of semi-open. People come in and try, but still they're struggling to kind of retain volumes. Is just because of the fact that it's not so straightforward. So an independent market maker
User
coming in
experience.
still face the issue of trying to kind of get this idea of how do I maintain my inventory, how do I build the order book, how do I cancel my orders without facing like a double loss of capital plus fees and all of that being combined. So that's where I think we see an edge where instead of waiting for different things to come up, like even Jito plugins of speed bump and bam and ace, all of that's
Mm.
been great to kind of talk about and look in theory, but what they having the systems live and protecting market makers while providing the best fill for users, I think that's where we have had the biggest trouble. And now with Magic Block ephemeral rollups, kind of allowing us to have our own execution environment, our own application controlled execution ordering, that's the best part that we've got. Right now, we kind of remove those constraints that market makers have trouble with, and then we build the engine ground up and have people kind of compete against our existing pool. So we solved like
let's
two things at once. We have got the retail flow, the pool serves. So now we've got the retail volumes to back up demand, and then market makers are free to come up, quote better than the pool to get the fill, or kind of just like play out the strategy against the existing OI that exists on Flash.
One thing I'd like to hash out on the live, one, because it's going to play good for the shorts, but two, is that make the case, either one of you, if you feel that you have a good case for it, but like make the case for why market makers would want to come on Magic Blocks. Or V2. I was with the Magic Block guys at one of the events, and they were trying to explain it to me. I mean, what they explained was pretty awesome. So, but I wouldn't be able to repeat it. But yeah. So if you could just make a short case for like why it's so important, what's that major advantage that they're going to have, and why the user experience for the market maker, I guess you could say, is going to be so much better.
A couple of things, like I'll go on this one and say, like, first one is managing your inventory. I think that's one thing that all of us have been worried about. Like, okay, as a market maker, you deploy capital, and then you kind of have to spend fees on building up the book. So you have to have each order account created, and then you have to pay fees for not just creation but updating the orders, and then executing the orders is left for takers to come in and take. So when you have a price move in the market, then you're racing against the takers to cancel your orders because you want to protect your inventory, and that's a double cost. You pay a higher priority fee, you pay a tip, and then you're also risking your inventory. If the transaction succeeds, yes, you spent a lot of cost to save your inventory, which is not a positive income. So it's at the end a loss-making trade for the market maker, even if they succeed. And if they don't succeed, and if their transaction ordering is delayed for some reason, and a taker gets in, now it's a double loss because they've spent the fees already, which is not refunded. It ends up as a failing transaction. You still pay up the fees and the tip, and then you also lose your inventory. And that's been the biggest trouble. Like, if you put it in the simplest terms, that's been the trouble that market makers have faced staying or trying to quote on Mainnet. And as you move to the ER, one thing is gone. Like, okay, you can have your capital on base chain, and then like you can just deposit that into a vault. You could also use any form of collateral that you've got, and then you can start quoting on ephemeral rollups where you don't have to pay a cost for putting up orders or canceling orders or creating accounts. All of that cost is abstracted away, and then once your book is built out, once your orders are in the form that you want, you can then commit those. So a commit brings out the state back on base chain, and then takers are able to kind of benefit from an updated book. But you can have the cancellations at your will and not be kind of playing the game of trying to land a transaction or trying to like front run takers or kind of protect your capital by paying costs. So that abstraction is a huge one. So you don't have to pay fees. And then it's faster in terms of confirmation, where instant, like we are sub 50 milliseconds right now, and if you collocate, it's going to be a lot better. And that's the thing that we are optimizing for, where market makers have the choice, and then takers at the end get the best fill, and the whole system kind of comes in together, where you have the best security guarantees of mainnet. The asset custodianship is still retained, and then you're able to kind of make the order books in a lot cleaner fashion.
Yeah, that's amazing. The market makers, which is why we're making the case now, looking at you, for market makers to reach out to Flash Trade. We'd love to hear from you, and of course work with you. So still building it out, but we're building bridges up front would be nice, just to get the conversation started. And Nas, anything to add?
Nope. I think that is it. We're just trying to work faster on getting the full migration done, it's a huge engineering task where the whole things are being upgraded. Every position that is on Flash and all the historical records and in your state is being migrated to this new V2 engine, and then we have to build this V2 engine to ship the funding mechanism in order books. So we have to be very careful and be wary of the important and epic engineering that is being done. So that is where the whole time is being spent on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're getting there. If you would have told me we'd be where we're at a year ago, I would have definitely probably pushed back. But the team, not we. I'm a moron over here, just a janitor. Hi, name's Mighty. The engineering team, has done an amazing job, not only on the front end, of course, but on the back end, all the things that you do not see. And they've done it seamlessly without error. So gonna say goodbye to you guys for now, and of course we'll see you next week. But any last parting thoughts for the viewers?
I think
If you haven't checked out,
yeah,
go this out.
Check out V2, and then
get the
yeah.
codes.
Get the codes. Yeah, reach out. Absolutely. If you're watching now, you get the benefit of reaching out to us on Discord, on X, or in one of our DMs here. I think all of our DMs are open anyway. So reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to whitelist your public wallet so you can get access to V2. Other than that, I will bid you to adieu. Just do my outro. All right. Again, thank you guys. I really appreciate you tuning in every single week. I just looked at the comments. There's nothing there. Otherwise, I would respond. But of course, you guys can leave comments. Comment on my baldness. Comment on me being slow sometimes. And I'd love to respond. Love to show it on the live. I appreciate everyone watching Flash Hour. And I had a great time at Accelerate. If you did meet me at Accelerate, appreciate you coming up, saying hi. Always love to meet you in person if you're actually at the physical, events that happen around the Solana ecosystem. I'm friendly. I don't bite, and love to chat and talk to the actual community. It's a lot of fun. I do like in-person events. As you can tell, I like to talk. So if you do come up, forewarned. Thank you again for attending Flash Hour. It's every single week, 4 p.m. UTC. I have no idea what time that is your time. You can figure that out. But we do it every single Monday. DJ Hour will commence tomorrow. So if you'd like, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the market open. And since V2 has all of these amazing markets available for equities, we are going to be having a ton of fun. We have the challenge, $10 to $1,000. That will be running for quite a while. We are doing well. We're positive. We are up. We're up about 20% on the V2 portfolio. So that's pretty good. A good start. Our first little step forward is to $20. So we want to get from 10 to 20, 20 to 40. We're taking bite-sized steps to moving towards that $10 to $1,000 challenge. You can trade alongside me. I do actually try to come on a little bit early just to chat with the community and just kind of set up my trades so that you can actually see me and what I'm doing, how I'm thinking through it. I do go through the news as well, just kind of like early news for the day so that we can set up the trade for the rest of the day. I do try to keep it interesting. So not all boring news, but it's good to get the news right before you do set up your trades for the day and the market opens, and then it's chaos. But again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week. And as always, traders, I'll see you in the markets.